Welcome to that new hobby high, Mummy Hobbies 3D Metal. I will be building the Phoenix Coronet today. Opening up the box, there are many series that you can choose from. This is the instruction sheet here. I will now be setting up my workspace so that I can work. I am very excited. It's been 5 days since I've unboxed this, and I have finally had time to start building this beautiful model. Taking out the sheets, this is sheet A. This is sheet B. What else do I need? I might be needing sheet C, and who knows if I have time, I might need to use sheet D. All right, let's take a closer look at the instructions on the first page. It looks like I will need sheet A and sheet B first. Let's put the sheets that I don't need aside. I need plush cutters, a pair of tweezers. I'm using a different pair of tweezers today to see whether if there are any differences between the two. Continuing to set this up, I will need this sheet of paper to tell me where each part is on each sheet of paper, so that on each sheet of metal, so then I can cut out the piece that I need. All right. Let's do some more rearrangements of the table and let's get into it. The first piece that I need is from sheet B. Let's cut it out. From here onwards, I will be speeding up the video. Initially, I was struggling to align my flush cutters against the piece so that I could cut it out, but I soon got used to it. Now it tells me to bend the piece, so taking a pair of chopsticks, I bend each segment a little bit at a time to form a circle before joining it at the end. I join it at the end by inserting the tab into the tab hole and bending it at 90 degrees. Here I am making the shape a little bit more circular to even it out. The next step, it tells me to cut out another circular piece from sheet B, and it looks like it is the top of the coronet. I have bent down each little segment at the slits, and I will be putting it into the first piece. I have bent the tabs out so that I could put it in, but it didn't quite fit. So I had to take out that top piece again and straighten out each segment and rebending it. What I found out was that I haven't bent it all the way to the bottom of the slit. Once I had done that, it fitted into the first piece much better. It is quite fiddly, so I took my time doing it and I was careful. If I bend and straighten the piece too much, it will break, and that will not do. It is not a race against time, and it is important to be careful and not break the piece because there is not a replaceable part for this piece that I'm doing here. It was starting to look a little bit like Caesar. It was starting to look a little bit like a beer bottle cap, I thought. It looks really nice. It took a little while to fit it in and get the alignment right, but finally I did manage it though. I had taken the piece, Caesar, you are in the way. I had taken the piece in and out several times to get it just right, and I finally got there. Instead of bending the tab at the end by bending it at 90 degrees, I had decided to twist it to see what happens. I can always untwist it and bend it if there are any changes. Now, the next piece, I'll call this the third piece. Now, this piece shows how strong the metal is, and I am quite happy with it. The instructions tells me to bend the segments again. Caesar, it tells me to bend the segments to form a circle again, and I have linked it together, which in itself is a little bit of a mistake. Caesar, it's a bit of a mistake because it was really, really hard to put it into the previous, connect it to the previous pieces, especially with little spikes coming up for it from it. I didn't know whether to put it in from the top or put it in from the bottom. Well, finally, I figured out the best way to attach it is to undo the tabs and wrap it around what I have done and then connect it to and then connect the tabs at the end. It was extremely fiddly. The tabs are really hard to put in as well. For some reason it didn't quite fit. And I'm not very sure why. And much to my horror, one of the tabs broke. And I thought to myself, what am I gonna do? Is it gonna hold? Now luckily, after connecting it at the end, it held its shape. And I am very happy with the quality of the metal. With some of the other models that I had made, once I had broken a tab or broken a segment, it didn't work that well anymore and it didn't hold very well. But for this one, it did, and I am happy. Phew! So I've got three of the four tabs into that. Now cutting out the next piece, and learning from my mistake of the previous piece that I made. I curled the piece first, and then wrapped it around what I had done. And once again, it was a great big struggle to insert the tabs into the tab holes. With some more spikes coming off it, it is really hard to handle, I thought. And it took quite some time. It took more time than I thought. Once again, I could only get 3 out of 4 tabs into the holes. I'm happy with what I've done so far, even though it took 1 hour and 20 minutes to put 4 pieces together because it was so fiddly and I needed time to figure out why I couldn't put all of the tabs in. I am glad that the metal is so strong. It's past midnight now and Caesar had taken my seat, so I'll end it here. Have a good night. Bye.